Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, everybody? Once again, as y'all know, we are live. We live. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Ray Destin Jr. I'm the founder and CEO of BOBM Publishing, LLC. We're a full-service publishing house that has that helps authors with everything from the idea all the way through to the finished product of their book, with everything from marketing, websites, audiobooks, you name it, we got it. If you want to be successful as an author, we got you covered. We've been so successful that the last 300 authors that we've worked with have all went #1 on Amazon. Man, hey, listen, I'll go ahead and pat ourselves on the back. And I say ourselves because it's not just me. I got a full team, an amazing team of editors, amazing team of graphic designers, amazing team of marketers, of audio engineers that get this work done on a daily basis. We eat, sleep, and breathe books. So if you tuned in with us live, go ahead and do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that heart button. Let me know that you're here, drop a comment. And once you drop that comment, do me a favor and hit that share button, because we're trying to help people get those books out of their heads onto the paper so they can help people just like you and me. I still need that help myself, right? Today is a topic that is so close and personal to me. They say sometimes you got to learn to dance in the rain, right? And I can Southside real good. I can salsa, I can merengue, and all that in the rain. And right now, especially, just got some news this morning that wasn't so pleasing. So, rest in peace, cousin. We love you. We will always love you. And I'll be there to send you off well. On the flip side, on the happy side, yesterday, I was dancing in my room once again, y'all. If y'all seen the first video I put out, I was dancing in my room. My sister got inducted into the Collegiate Track and Field Hall of Fame. They say the best for last. She was inducted in the inaugural class along with athletes like Jackie Joyner-Kersee, Jesse Owens, Wilma Rudolph, who was her idol. This is the reason that she started running, was for Wilma Rudolph, seeing her story. Carl Lewis, the Prefontaine, the guy who actually dropped the mile below 4 minutes. So the book was about him, and he got honored in the same inaugural class with my sister. So Carlette Guidry Falkway, hey, love you to the moon and beyond. Keep soaring, because you're teaching Nisi how to do it, and you still showing me how to elevate in the midst of everything going on. So love you. So let's get into this topic today, because this one is going to be real quick. It's going to be real fun, and it's going to be real exciting. Creating an environment to thrive as a writer. And so most people don't understand what I mean when I say, create an environment to thrive. Like, okay, what do you mean this environment? Little known fact, it is hard to write, especially when you're sitting down to write a book that is 100 pages or more. Most people crap out after writing their 5-page paper for finals, or their 3-page paper, or even their dissertation. When you write a book, you are sitting there literally going in and creating something that hasn't been created before. You're dropping information, you're dropping news, you're dropping content. You may be dropping your life experiences with that from your head onto the paper or onto your keyboard. And so it takes a lot for you to actually what's going on, Saul Paul SP? Love you, bro. It takes a lot to get that book out of your head and to make this thing a reality. So I'm going to talk about the environment that you need. If you and one of the first things, as y'all know, I like to go top down. I'm going to go high level, give you the answers, and I'm going to come back and break it down for those of you that need it broken down. So one of the first things that you'll need is a quiet space. That quiet space can be a room, going to the library, going to a coffee shop, I used to go to the local community college, ACC. Hey, I never got my degree from y'all, but I love y'all to death. Y'all have no idea how much Wi-Fi and how much time I spent up there. Go to the water. There's something majestic about being near a body of water that just calms your soul, calms your spirit, and gets you in the right mind for success. Go to a peaceful place. Wherever you thrive, whatever peaceful environment that you thrive in, find that peaceful place. And then be consistent with it. Be consistent with your time. Schedule it. One of the biggest things that I say is schedule it. Make it a part of your daily routine. And then mentally focus. When you mentally focus, there's a few things that you can do to get your mind right. One of my mentors says, get your mind right. Get your mind right so you can shine bright, right? When you mentally focus, go get it into get these things understood. Life is going to continue to happen. Just like I said, this morning, we lost a close family member. Life is going to continue to happen. Some people are going through divorce. Some people are dealing with messy people around them. Some people are dealing with the loss of relationships. Some people are dealing with health issues. Some people are dealing, you name it. Life is going to continue to happen. You got to get your mind ready for life to continue to happen. Meditate. A good friend of mine said something about going on a meditation vacation, where it's just meditation, just a retreat to meditate, to learn to meditate, to breathe better, to breathe easy. Definitely gonna have to look into that. Get your music right. What type of music calms you or gets you in that writing mode? And then here's the last one, and this one is gonna be kind of hard. I'm 6'7". I'm supposed to be a basketball or a football player according to stereotypes. I had to change my circle in order to become successful. Think about that. So let's go back and break it down. One of the first things is getting into a quiet space. Why is being in a quiet space so important? Because if you know anything about being effective, anything about executing at a high level, you got to be in a space where you can thrive mentally, where you can thrive, where your mind is focused. So that's why I always say go to a quiet space. Pick a room in your house. If you have a large house, pick that one room that you can go into. When I first started, I'll be honest with you all, I had less space than I had an actual room. And part of that room, I took about 6 feet of that room and I turned it into my own personal office. That was the space that I used to use because I didn't have anything else. I had a room with a desk, posters behind me, a mattress sitting in front of me, and a TV sitting not too far away. That was it. That's where I started from. So when people come to me and say, well, I don't have the space, I don't have this, I don't have that, and I just say, shut up. Get rid of those excuses, because if you can't find a quiet room, here's something else that I used to do. Go to the library. The library has plenty of spaces, and they even have rooms that you can reserve. Depending on how big that library is, they'll let you reserve a room where you can just go into that room, close the doors, no sound around you. You might even have a whiteboard behind you that you can write and get your ideas, get your thoughts together in that particular space. Go into a library. And if you can't go into a library and reserve a room, then guess what? Put your earphones in. Put your earbuds in. We'll get into that in a second. But zone completely out. Get into a place where you're focused only on that paper or on that computer in front of you. That way you can get your thoughts together. Go to the water. The water has such a calming and peaceful effect. I kind of miss certain places in Austin that I used to go to. One of those places was a duck pond that was not too far from where I stayed. And I would just go sit out there and just listen to the ducks and listen to the water, because it had a waterfall that was flowing, and it was turtles, and it was just nature at its finest. And it was like God's way of just saying, just sit back and relax for a second. Unplug from the internet, unplug from social media, unplug from all the things that are distracting you on a consistent basis. Turn that TV off. You don't have to be tuned into everything. There's so many distractions that are going on around you. Learn to unplug. Get to the water. Get to the water. There's so much peace, and there's so many messages that God are sending to you just through that water, just through the flow of water. When you get to that peaceful place, it does something to calm your mind, which is why you notice there are people that have actually made CDs with the sound of rain, or with the sound of the ocean, or with the sound of a river flowing. That's because there is something majestic about water. And if you're not into the water, if you're not into going to the library, or going to a coffee shop, or going to the local community college, just find you a peaceful place. Whatever that peaceful place is for you, you may just go sit in your car and make sure you roll your windows down. Don't just keep the car on unless you got the AC. And I say that because I'm in Texas. In Texas right now, we're looking at about 90, 91 degrees. And it's still preheating. So it's going to get much, much hotter. But find you a peaceful place, because that peaceful place is going to give you peace of mind. And that peace of mind gets you away from everything and that's moving and shaking around you. And it allows you to personally get into a zone for writing that's conducive for your writing space. Next thing is the time factor. Make sure you pick a consistent time that you are going to write. Schedule it. One of the biggest things that I keep with me on a consistent basis, and I'm pulling it out, which is why I'm leaning over, is this thing right here. It's called a planner. It is called a planner. And I schedule in my time. But I also, if you don't want to go and pick up a paper planner, I'm old school. If you don't want to go and pick up a paper planner, then guess what? You can also do it on your phone. On your phone, you have something called your calendar. I love Google Calendar because it tells me everything that I need to do. And I live and I die by that calendar. If it's not on my calendar and you tell me, don't blame me because I didn't remember it. Send me a meeting invite. That's how we get business done. But schedule it. I remember one of the guys, and I'm going to give a shout out to one of the first guys that wrote a book with us, Darrell Wayne Thomas Jr. When he first started, and what he would do is he normally got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So he would get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. And for that hour before his family started waking up, he was sitting there writing. That hour before, he had to squeeze time out of his already busy schedule so that he could write. And he finished his book in less than 3 months, which is the same thing that I'm telling you all that you can do. Once you put in consistent time, you've already worked on your outline, you've already done this. If it's consistent, Dr. Norris L. Roberts Jr. said it this Sunday. Every day he had to touch his project. He had to touch his writing because he knew what the goal was. And so in order to get it done, he had to touch it every single day. If you can't squeeze out an hour a day, squeeze out 30 minutes a day, squeeze out 15 minutes a day, squeeze out a certain amount of time every day that you are focused on writing. But you have to make sure that your mind is clear when you begin this process. That way the writing is not polluted. And what I mean by polluted, I'll go back to a story that Don Green, the president of the Napoleon Hill Foundation, the Think and Grow Rich Foundation, said. He said when Napoleon Hill first wrote the book Think and Grow Rich, his mind was so polluted because there were things that were being said about him in the public. There was this image of him, and it just created this negative mindset that he had around him. Even though he was writing a positive book, he put it down. He put it down, took 2 years off, and came back to it when his mind was ready. Because believe it or not, when you're writing from a place of pain, when you're writing from a place of hate, when you're writing from a place that's not pure, it shows up in your writing. It definitely shows up in your writing. People will pick that book up and say, ooh, something about this book. I can't finish it. There's a certain energy that surrounds those words that you have no idea that you're dropping into your book. So you want to make sure that you're in a place that's conducive and peaceful for your writing. Otherwise, step back, rethink it, and then come back to it, right? The last thing is make sure that you're mentally focused. Make sure that you're mentally focused. And what do I mean by being mentally focused? Life is going to happen. Life is going to happen. I've said this twice already. I'm going to say it the third time. This morning, literally this morning, I got the text message that one of my cousins has gone to glory. Life is going to continue happening. You will find out that some of the people that you love the most while you're in the process of doing something great have been stabbing you in the back the whole time. You'll find out that something that was never supposed to happen actually happened during that time. Your kids are going to get sick. Your dog is going to die. Your kid is going to have a bad grade in school. Somebody in your family is going to have something. You're going to run into financial situations. You may lose your job. I lost my job when I not lost my job. I walked away from my job when I first started writing my first book. Life is going to continue happening. Life is going to continue happening. You have to be ready and be adult enough to understand that you got to keep moving forward, even in the midst of transition. Meditate. Take some time to meditate. Take some time to pray before you start. Take some time to clear your mind of everything but the project at hand before you start. That way, what happens is your mind is ready for the journey that you're going on as you speak, as we speak. When you begin to meditate or you begin to pray beforehand, you're putting yourself in a mental space for peace, for prosperity, and for purpose. Get some music. Get some music. If y'all notice, every time I start these videos, I got music in my head. I don't have music in my ears. I got music in my head. Something that just livens me up. When I am writing, there's a few artists that I love listening to. One of my favorite CDs is by Maxwell, Embryo, because it's so peaceful and it's flowing. The melody, the songs, the words all flow together. Otherwise, I put on some Kenny G or I'll put on some gospel, but I try not to put anything on that has too many lyrics, because then I'll start finding myself writing the lyrics instead of writing what I'm supposed to be writing. Find the music that works for you. If you like upbeat music, put some upbeat music on, but make sure that you keep it positive, because whatever you're writing, you want it to reach those people that you are looking to reach in a positive way. And then lastly, and this one is hard for a lot of people, sometimes you got to change your circle. Sometimes you absolutely have to change your circle, and the reason that I say that is because everybody doesn't want to see you win. Sometimes your personal development, sometimes your personal goals, your personal growth is threatening to their regular lifestyle. If that is happening to you, and when you tell somebody, hey man, I'm writing this book, I'm so excited about it, and they say, you on that stuff again, that's not the person that needs to be in your circle. If you tell somebody, man, I'm going to be a bestseller, I'm going to be my book is going to come out in the summertime, and they say, the games are coming on, that we got parties going on, that's not the circle that you need to be in. Find a circle that supports your dreams, because they are going to help propel you and push you to the level that you want to go. Your circle is very important. As they always say, your circle determines your growth, right? So as I said before, these are things for creating an environment to thrive as a writer. Make sure that you're in a quiet space, a quiet room, a library, water, a peaceful place for you, something that works for you. You don't have to choose the places that I've been. Go to the places that work for you. Schedule it so that it is consistent. Your writing time is consistent. The more consistent you are, the better off you'll be. Mentally focus. When you mentally focus, remember that life will happen. Life is going to continue to happen. You got to be adult enough to persevere through the storms and learn to dance in the rain. Like I said, I can Southside, I can merengue, I can cumbia. We can do it with the best of them. We can Texas two-step. Meditate and pray before you get started. The reason that you want to meditate and pray before you get started is because you need to clear your mind of all the things that are happening around you and focus on the project at hand. Get you some music that is conducive to you, preferably without lyrics. Something that focuses you and allows you to be effective while executing. And then lastly, and this is important, if you have to, change your circle. Change your circle so that your circle is promoting you, is helping you grow and helping you go to the level that you are looking to go to, right? So again, prayerfully, this was helpful for y'all. We're going to continue celebrating all week. We finally did it. We hit 300 Amazon #1 best-selling authors. Yesterday, my sister, Carlette Guidry Falkway, was inducted into the collegiate track and field Hall of Fame with the greats in her sport. And one day I'll be celebrated at the same level with the greats in this industry. So y'all don't, as Miss Niecy, Monica Earl Washington says, don't watch me, watch God, because he's blessing my life. Again, until next time, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that heart button, and hit that share button, because we're trying to get this information out there to help people get those books out of their heads onto the paper so they can help people like you and me. I love y'all. Ain't nothing y'all can do about it. I love y'all. Y'all keep being prosperous and keep being blessed. Let's keep moving.